Hello everyone, and I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the third video in the series called The Secret to Success. In the first video of the series, I shared with you that in order to become successful, in order to attract success and abundance into your life, you must first find your passion and then define, design, and create your body of work, your B.O.W. And in the second video, I mentioned that creating a body of work that is powerful, that is impactful, that is inspiring, it's not going to be easy. It is simple, but it's not going to be easy. And this entire process of creating an inspiring body of work, it's governed by a few rules. And I said there are total 10 rules, and I shared the first rule with you in the previous video. In this video, I'm going to go and share with you the second video. I'm trying to talk too fast. Okay, let's not do that. So second rule, yes. But while explaining the concept and the first rule, I have taken a couple of examples. I have dropped a few names on you, like Sachin Tendulkar, Amitabh Bachchan, Lionel Messi, Lata Mangeshkar, etc., right? Muhammad Ali. And in the first rule, explaining the first rule, I also mentioned the stats, the career stats, especially Sachin Tendulkar and Amitabh Bachchan. In this video also, I'm going to continue to utilize them as the examples to convey or explain my concept or rule number 2 of creating a body of work. Now, why I'm using Sachin Tendulkar and Amitabh Bachchan, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan's example is because in this country, in India, they are the most powerful inspirations, not only for the people in the country, but for generations of people in this country. That's why I'm sticking to them as an example. And the stat that I have used previously were their career stats and how many movies they have made, how many matches they have played, etc. And in order to explain B.O.W. rule number 2, the stat I'm going to share with you today is, we have discussed that Sachin has played a total of 663 matches, out of which 463 was ODI, one-day international matches, 200 were test matches. And I mentioned that in the 663 matches, he has played 781 innings. The stat that I want to share with you today is, out of the 781 opportunities he got to bat, Sachin was out on duck 34 times. I think the number is 20 times in ODIs and 14 in test matches, but total is 34 times he has been out on duck. Now the important question is, why? And what would be the key takeaway for you from this stat? Similarly, in his career spanning 52 years, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan has done 200 odd movies, out of which I found out that 21 movies were designated as flops. What does that tell you? One is a millennium megastar, Bollywood megastar, who has done more than 200 movies, out of which 21 are flops. The other one is the god of cricket in our country. He is the best batsman in the world ever, and he has 34 ducks. What does that tell you? I have a few lessons here, 4 lessons to be precise, I'm going to share with you, and these are the lessons that you can take away from these stats, these examples, and these 4 would be finally summarized into what I refer to as the B.O.W. rule number 2. Okay, I hope you couldn't see that mosquito flying in front of me. Okay, so I hope that. The first rule, the first takeaway from this could be something that opposes what you have been conditioned to believe is as the requirement for success from childhood. You, because I have a teacher for mother, right? If you want to become successful, it's all about preparation and it's all about performance. You prepare your level best and you perform your level best, success is guaranteed. This is a rule of success that has been conditioned into a lot of people all across the world. It's not about only Indian kids. Now, you can take away from this example of Sachin having 34 ducks and Mr. Amitabh Bachchan having 21 flops is that best preparation and best performance does not guarantee success always. Write the formula, or write the takeaway, or write the lesson word by word. I'm going to dictate it once or once again. Level best preparation plus best performance does not guarantee success always. Once again, best performance best preparation plus best performance does not guarantee success always. Each of the word matters here, okay? So that's the first takeaway. The second takeaway is why that happens. Let me explain that. The second takeaway from this is you have to understand when creating your body of work, you have to understand and accept that there are only two factors that will always be in your control, and that is your preparation and your performance. But 998 factors will be there which will never be in your control. Like for example, I cannot believe that Sachin Tendulkar gets down into the crease in an international match without being prepared his level best. And I cannot in my mind imagine Sachin Tendulkar trying to bat a ball which is not his best approach, right? I can't. So for me, what this depicts is even though Sachin has prepared his level best, he's trying to perform his level best. Those two are the factors that are in his control. There are 998 factors which are not in his control. For example, on that particular day, he cannot control how the bowler's performance is going to be. On that particular day, Sachin cannot depict or control how the wind is going to behave. He cannot control how the pitch is going to behave that particular day, right? Similarly, there will be, and he cannot also control, for example, how the fielders are going to behave on that particular day or perform on that particular day. Are they going to dive and stop his boundaries? Are they going to dive and catch him? He has no control, right? That goes to tell you again that there will be 998 factors which are not in your control. Same for Amitabh Bachchan. I cannot imagine Amitabh Bachchan getting a movie and getting to shooting without preparing his level best for that particular role, or in front of the camera accepting a performance which is not his best. But that doesn't guarantee that the movie is going to be successful, right? Once again, what Amitabh Bachchan, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan has control over is his preparation and his performance. But he cannot control the other 998 factors. For example, how strong is the script? He cannot control that. How strong is the storyline? He cannot control that. How the other people or characters in that story is going to play out and perform, he doesn't have control over that. The editing might be mediocre in that movie. He cannot control that. The music of the movie might not work. He cannot control that. There will be always 998 factors that will not be in your control. That's the second takeaway from this story. So what do? You accept that I have prepared my level best. I have performed my level best. Even after that, it doesn't work out. It's fine. Next, focus on the next match. Let's focus on the next movie. That's what you do. Right? Now the third takeaway is what you don't do. So the first rule is best preparation plus best performance doesn't guarantee success always. The second takeaway is two things are in your control and they will always be in your control. Your preparation and your performance. 998 factors will not be in your control. So never ever waste your time, effort, energy in analyzing and paralyzing yourself over those factors. If you prepared well, you performed well. Didn't work out, focus and move on to the next one. Okay, that's second takeaway. Third takeaway is, if you have observed Amitabh Bachchan, you have studied Sachin Tendulkar, you have watched them perform, you have watched them giving interviews and giving talks, right? You would have observed, and this is true for all the world-class champions. Okay, it's true for everybody who is an elite performer. Okay, if after their best preparation and best performance, things don't go according to plan, things still fail, these people, the elite performers, the champions, they will never ever engage in four things. They will never do it. So if you want to become a champion, if you want to create a body of work that inspires the generations, then you must not engage in these four things: blaming, complaining, fault finding, finger pointing. Once again, they will never do blaming, they will never do complaining, they will never do fault finding, and they'll never do finger pointing. So if after your best preparation and your best performance things don't work out as planned, move on to the next one and never ever engage in blaming, complaining, fault finding, and finger pointing. Never do that. That's lesson number 3. The fourth lesson from this is going to be a little, explanatory. For example, imagine Sachin Tendulkar starting his career. Imagine Amitabh Bachchan, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan starting his career. When they started on the same day or in the same year, there would be 1,000 players who started their international careers in cricket. The day Sachin did that. There will be 1,000 actors who started acting in the same year, that in the year where Amitabh Bachchan started working. And when he started working, they were already superstars, right? So when you start creating your body of work, what you have is a lot of talent and let's say a little bit of preparation. Then you start performing and performing and performing and performing. What happens when you start performing initial days? There will always be exceptions, but most of the time when you start performing, all of these people who started together, they will start failing. Something will work, something will not work, something will work, something will not work. But most of the time, things will fall apart. There will be a lot of failures initially, right? When these people fail, they ask a very simple question: why is this happening to me? And that is precisely what a mediocre mindset people or person does. That defines mediocre mindset. Why does this happen to me, right? And after failure, after failure, after failure, after failure, after a few failures, all of these people, maybe in a few years' time, maybe in a decade's time, these people give up. Or they say, this is the best I can do, and they accept their performance, their career, their progress, and they stop. And those people never become the top of their games. They never become Sachin Tendulkar, they never become Amitabh Bachchan. Then what is the difference between Amitabh Bachchan and the other actors who started and left or quit? What is the difference between Sachin Tendulkar and the players who started and quit? The difference is where people like Amitabh Bachchan and Sachin Tendulkar, they fail, they get excited because a big stack of failure for these champions means a big stack of feedback. A big stack of feedback for them is interpreted as a lot of ways in which I can continuously improve my preparation. More feedback means more number of ways in which I can improve my preparation on a continuous basis. This is called continuous improvement. This is called Kaizen in the Japanese philosophy, right? So they fail, and the more they fail, they get more excited because they are taking these failures as feedbacks and learning from these failures, and they're taking them as feedbacks to continuously improve their preparation so that this failure might not be repeated or never gets repeated in their future, right? That is what separates these champions like Sachin Tendulkar and Amitabh Bachchan from the rest of the actors, right? So that's the fourth takeaway. So all these 4 lessons, I'll just quickly repeat them. Best preparation plus best performance never guarantees success always. Lesson number 2, 2 things are in your control, 998 are not. So don't waste your time, effort and energy in analyzing those factors. Lesson number 3, never ever engage in blaming, complaining, fault finding and finger pointing. And the final one is failure means feedback. Feedback means opportunities to continuously improve your preparation so that you can never repeat your failures. Learn from your failures and never repeat them. So all these 4 lessons is summarized by the B.O.W rule number 2, which simply tells you that whenever you fail, leverage your failures, don't sulk over them. B.O.W rule number 2 is leverage your failures, don't sulk over them. And that is the 4 lessons. It's embodiment of the 4 lessons I just shared with you. But I'll end this with this quote from Thomas Alva Edison, when some reporter asked him that you have failed 10,000 times or 9,000 times or 1,000 times before you actually invented light bulb. And the response Thomas Alva Edison gave to this report was, I have not failed 10,000 times. I have found 10,000 ways in which you cannot invent a light bulb. That's precisely what B.O.W number 2 means. Leverage your failures, don't sulk over them. With that, I'll leave you guys. I hope when you start creating a body of work, you take this rule into account and all the lessons I just shared with you. I hope this was valuable. It was worth your time and your attention. I'll be out now. I'll quickly be back with B.O.W rule number 3 whenever I can. Till then, you take care and be limitless.